Standing here in the middle of Kingstowne, that's right, we're in Alexandria, Virginia, and when people think relocation, they of course assume Old Town, they think Delray, but when they're looking for getting more for their money, this is where they zero in on. It's just outside the Beltway, between two of the metros, Springfield and Van Dorn, close proximity to not only the Pentagon, Fort Belvoir, and only 20 minutes to the city. We are standing right now in front of the Regal Cinemas. And I remember growing up as a kid in Fairfax County, because we've been here for over 40 years, figuring out, where should I go see the movies? What does it look like? And when this first opened in the late 80s, this was the place to be. This still is a thriving area where people want to live, they come to live, whether it's an apartment, condo, townhouse, or single family home. People are attracted to Kingstowne for the proximity, but also for all the amenities. There are multiple pools, fitness centers, walking trails that all surround an area that has multiple areas for shopping, dining, and being able to really enjoy the local and surrounding community. Kingstowne is perfect for dinner and a movie, and we have Bonefish Grill, which is famous for the bang bang shrimp, pasara, Thai food, Indian with aditi. There's some amazing food where you can truly experience the diversity of food and dining right here in Kingstowne. I will say this about Kingstowne. Some like it, some don't. It is their chain effect. You'll notice a lot of chain restaurants from Moby Dick's to Chopped to Uno's Pizzeria. But that's fun. You know that you're going to get the same food every time you go there. Beyond that, I want you to think through the proximity. It's rare to be this close to the city and have everything playing within a community. This was built in the 1980s for a planned unit development. It even has its own post office. So you know that you're on the map when you have your own post office. It's a part of Alexandria in general, and this is a wonderful location. But understand that you're part of the suburbs and you will have that strip mall effect. Some people love that and the proximity for shopping and dining, and others want more of that mom and pop boutique where you're gonna have to go further into the city, further into Alexandria and Delray or Old Town to find that. So one of the things that people love about Kingstowne is its proximity, right? That you're sandwiched between two metros, the Van Dorn Metro and the Springfield Metro. You've got Kingstowne Village Parkway. Now, one of the issues with Kingstowne, not everyone will point out, are the power lines. You can see them just over my shoulder. The power lines run all throughout Kingstowne, and they still don't really understand EMF ratings and whether it is an issue or not. Here's the one thing we do know is you don't want to back to them nor see them if you're going to buy real estate, because it can be a huge detractor and an offset. We like to call it deal on them, deal on you. So if you buy a property that's backing directly to power lines, someone's going to get a deal on you. When you go to sell it, you're going to get a deal on them. When you go to sell it, they're going to get a deal on you. Now, what we're showing you right now is one of the shopping plazas. All of them are anchored. This one's anchored by Safeway. You'll see World Market, TJ Maxx, Home Goods. Kingstowne is known for shopping and dining, and also parking. This person almost ran right into us. So Kingstowne is known for shopping, dining, that fun experience. They have multiple, like Orange Fitness Theory, and places you can work out. Orange Theory Fitness is what it is called. I love it for the chains. Most people will come out here, they'll do dining and a movie. The big Regal Cinemas is located within this area. And of course, like we mentioned before, everybody's doing their shopping. We're getting close to Christmas, and what that looks like. This Panera Bread has been here forever. People always come to the Panera Bread to eat, congregate. And just beyond that, you're gonna see the Regal Cinemas, as well as the Bonefish Grill, Pasara, which is Thai dining, and even Adita, which is the Indian restaurant, which is very famous in the local area. Now we're gonna head back onto the Parkway, and we're gonna show you, you're right across from a Walmart, so you really do have everything here in Kingstowne. You're not gonna have to leave the area if you don't want to. It's got, within 20 minutes of DC, close proximity to the Fort Belvoir, right? So we have a lot of our military as well that choose to live in Kingstowne. A lot of people are attracted originally to Alexandria. They're attracted to Old Town. They love the idea of being urban and walkable. When they see the price tag, that's usually when they say, show me something further out. So this is technically just outside of the Beltway. You'll see the post office on our left-hand side, which is great that you have actually your own post office within Kingstowne. This was built in the 80s. And the thought process was it was going to become its own city. When the market slowed down in the 90s, they kind of curtailed how big the project could get to and what it would be. We're going to turn you down here, show you some of the area. When you look across here, you'll see the condos. So Kingstowne's a combination of condos, townhouses, and even single family. And we'll alert you here on the left again to the power lines. The power lines do run all throughout it. Fortunately or unfortunately, in most areas, you'll see power lines where the kids' play area is. The most important thing when you're thinking about relocating is access and convenience. And Kingstowne definitely has all of that. It basically goes between Van Dorn Street and Beulah when you're looking at where to be located. Aldi, of course, moved in here a couple years back. We're going to kind of tour you through some of the communities and the areas and what they look like. You'll see single car garage townhouses on your left. These are trails. If you notice this asphalt trail, these trails run all the way throughout. So it's great for walking and getting exercise. And this planned unit development of over 5,000 homes gives you not only access to dining and shopping, but also for exercise. There are multiple fitness centers. You can see some people on our right walking right now. You'll see tennis courts, tot lots. There are tot lots everywhere. So if that is a convenience or an amenity that you want, this is where you want to be. You'll see there's multiple people walking on the trails now and really enjoying the warm weather day we have in December. And what it looks like to really be around nature and yet still be around all of this development. Now we're in Kingstowne right now, and we're driving by townhomes. These actually have the 3-level bump extensions, which is great because even within a townhouse, you get that morning room. And the Windsor at Kingstowne, you'll see they also have their own pool and tennis courts. And beyond that, we're going to drive you over to Beulah Road. And Beulah is one of those defining roads because this is the edge of Kingstowne. And now if we cross over here, we're going to be going into Island Creek. Island Creek is also a wonderful community. You do not get access to everything within Kingstowne if you're in Island Creek. And so it's important to know that distinction. Right here is Hayfield Road. Hayfield will take you all the way to Hayfield High School, which is wonderful access for school and the district. But really it's a matter of convenience. That's why people want to live in Kingstowne. Why they want to live here is to have access to shopping, dining, everything else, and then also be able to go out for the night without having to go into DC, without having to go somewhere else. And you'll see that Kingstowne Village Parkway extends far through. It is a large area. On the left-hand side, you'll also see in Nottingham, these are the small single-family homes we like to call zero lot lines. Zero lot lines because the yard is very small for a single-family home, but you still have that privacy, that circle of air that you would not have when you're looking at a townhouse. So within Kingstowne, you're going to have a lot of townhouses, and you'll have parking with these visitor bays. You'll have in-unit townhouses, which are my favorite because it feels more like a single-family home. You have 2-car and 1-car garage townhomes. I personally prefer the brick front, and you can see some of them have the bay windows. Again, with builders, they can't do the same elevation for each different home. You'll see, for instance, that these have there's no balcony, but where they at least have the extra full-size windows, bring in extra light. And then some of the end units, you'll see the double bay windows, which really brings in light, gives you that extra space on the main level. Whenever you have a garage, for the most part in Kingstowne, it's going to be on your first level, which means you park in the quote-unquote basement and then have to walk up. You also typically get a recreation room or in the lower level. Now the ideal here in Kingstowne is you don't want to back to the power lines, you want to back to common area. And this small enclave does. It's great. They back straight to a wooded area. I personally love seeing homes and communities in the winter because it looks the worst. This is the worst it's going to get. This is how bad it is with all the leaves gone stripped bare, what does it look like? You also get to see how many of the residents are into Halloween or Christmas or whatever the month is, and you see some of that on the right-hand side. I will say within planned unit developments, they are pretty strict on what you can put out there throughout the year and what that looks like. So be cognizant of that if that's important to you. And again, these open bays for visitor parking, even resident parking that you can use as a great opportunity. We're going to get back on the main thoroughfare throughout all of Kingstowne, which is Kingstowne Village Parkway. It's a combination of sidewalks and walking trails. People love to take part in. It's really a interactive community. There's jogging clubs, walking clubs that you can be a part of. Here at Stratford Place, 4-level condos. Many of them will back to treed areas or common area. And you actually have a little bit of a view looking over Alexandria itself. Here to the right is one of the community pools that you get access to by being in that condo development at Stratford Place. So from Telegraph, we're coming up Van Dorn Street, and this section of Van Dorn is the lowest part of Kingstowne, still available to get access to everything. I'm going to take you through a community that's basically off Tower Hill Circle, just south of what used to be the original Topgolf, and we'll talk more about that. But you do have some commercial plazas within Kingstowne. You're going to see that on the left-hand side. So there is access not only shopping and dining. In addition, you do have commercial plazas. And I want to show you this community on the right-hand side, Greendale Village, as well as Tower Hill Circle. You're going to see large single-family homes. Again, you lose the lot line within Kingstowne. So we do have large single-family homes that are over 3,000 square feet. You also have the power lines. That would be the issue with being over here. Lack of privacy and also the power lines, but you're talking large single-family homes with all the convenience of being able to walk to the shopping and dining we showed you earlier. That's the big attractor and why people love to live in Kingstowne. And they graduate up. You know, someone that lives in Kingstowne easily would go from a condo to then a townhouse to then a single family home and maybe even to a more luxury home. You see over here in Carlisle, these are part of the townhouse communities that are sandwiched in within the single family homes. And then again, you see the power lines that are running through right behind the townhouses. So that is very common to have that. You see the tot lots on the right-hand side as well. Now this is not common. You can see this, if you look up top, you'll see solar panels. You know, you see solar panels on top of this home here. That is not common. You can see as you look at most of the roof pitches, you will not see solar panels. That's more common, say, in Maryland than it is in Virginia. Although you do have to get approval to put them on since it's a homeowners association. And you can see most of the roof lines here are the standard composite shingle. You see all the yellow curbed areas. Those are places you cannot park. So the big question always with townhouses is parking and storage. Where it's yellow curbed, you cannot park. However, you can park along the right-hand side here, where you see that. You'll also see where the mail comes in. You know, that's one of the nice things that I do like about townhouse living in communities is that your mail goes into a keyed lock space so no one else has access to it. And again, some of the visitor bays here within Kingstowne where you can park. As long as it doesn't say reserved and it's not yellow curbed, anyone can park there. And we'll take you actually through Tower Hill Circle as well once we pop out here because it's a different design of single family homes. And we're taking this out again right back up to Van Dorn Street. There's two other subsets, cloisters within Kingstowne I want to show you. One is Tower Hill, and then the other one is right at the top just before Franconia and Van Dorn, where you're going to see some luxury estate homes. So these homes in Tower Hill, this was an undeveloped part of Kingstowne for many years, and they came in here and basically decided, how can we fit as many as possible within here? These are large single family homes. You're looking many times over 4,000 square feet. You have the zero lot lines. You also have limited parking. So you can see you've got your 2 spaces for you to park on the driveway, 2 inside the garage, and then very limited space on the street to park. You'll see they're close proximity, backing right up to other homes as well. Why do people buy these? Maybe they don't want to deal with the large yards. They don't want all the maintenance of it, but yet they still want to be walkable for shopping and dining and everything else. So that's the attraction to it and why people want to live here. These are fun. You're seeing some of the stone fronts. We've shown you a lot of the traditional colonial style with the brick. And now you're seeing the stone facade in front. Again, just like the bricks, the stone facade will be in the front, and then it'll be siding, vinyl siding on the sides. Now this gets a little tricky when you're talking about a limited pipe stem. So take a look at this pipe stem here. That is off of a cul-de-sac, and what that means is if it snows, they will not come and plow your driveway. They'll just plow right to the street, and you and your neighbors will be responsible to get yourselves out. So the longer the pipe stem, you may want to consider whether or not you really want that property or not. And there's one other community within, or one other subset within Kingstowne I want to show you. And what you're probably getting a feel for now is that there are no yards in Kingstowne. And it is what it is. It's why you can walk to everything. The more rural you get, the less walkability you have, right? And that's a trade-off. But so many people enjoy it. We'll come back and show you Rudy's. Rudy's is what used to be Top Golf, the first ever Top Golf. It's got a putt-putt course as well. We'll come back and show you that. Over on our right-hand side, you're going to see Edison High School. So remember, you've got Hayfield High School on one side, and then you've got Edison High School. And depending on where you live within Kingstowne, will determine which high school that your children would attend. And over on the right-hand side is Edison. So this is Northampton, a subset of Kingstowne, and these homes run over $1 million. You don't have the convenience of a yard or the upkeep of it, but they are large homes, and you're looking at over 4,000 square feet as well. I would say the challenge with this area is that you also have the road noise from Van Dorn, and potentially the noise from Edison High School itself, because we're that close in proximity. And of course you have the parking here in front, but there's not a lot of parking area outside of your driveway. You'll see the yellow curved areas. That's Edison, straight across Edison High School. Let me show you the backyards for a lot of these homes. You can see how the garages are in the rear. That's the setup of it. And then they might have some finished area. You can see their patio living, but you really don't get privacy. For the lack of privacy, the trade-off is the flexibility you have to be able to walk to all the entertainment than the dining and shopping that you have here in Kingstowne. You can also, from this north side of Kingstowne, you could potentially walk to the Van Dorn Metro, which isn't far from here. And all of Kingstowne gets the easy access to the city, to 495, and everything else you would need while living in Washington, D.C. So this is Rudy's. It used to be Topgolf. This was the original Topgolf, and this parking lot was always anchored by Ruby Tuesdays and Rudy's. Well, used to be Topgolf. Topgolf, of course, the fun thing about this one that was unique is there was no time. You know, when you go to play Topgolf now, they charge you by time, not by ball. Well, here you could get a bucket of balls and stay in the bay all day, and it would cost you the same amount of money. It's not like every hour you accrued more and more cost. So Topgolf moved out. They moved over to National Harbor, right near the MGM and everything over there in PG County. And Rudy's took over for Topgolf. And it's kind of, you know, the same setup, very similar. They haven't done that much in upgrading it. You can eat, you can, what they like to say, drink and drive. You can drink alcohol and do the driving range. They are heated bays. And it's a great setup. It's a great opportunity to come out and hit a driving range where you can eat, relax, and meet with people. And just less than a couple years ago, Rudy's took over for Topgolf. Yeah, these are the 4-level condos. Typically, there's not an elevator within them. You do have to walk up, but the views are great because these are kind of on top of a hill, so you really have that privacy still located within the community. You can see all the open spaces. These are fun. These are sledding hills during the winter. People will come out and just sled down these big landscapes on the left and right and enjoy the common area and the trails that you have here in Kingstowne. I love an in-unit townhouse. In-unit townhouses that we're driving by right now really feature themselves like a single family home. You have a side entry, you only have one common wall as opposed to two. And many of these you have a 1-car or a 2-car garage setup, which is great for parking. I will say this, Kingstowne can be hard, depending on where you are in the community, for parking, for visitor spaces. So always be aware of that. Always look to see what else is available. You see all the yellow curbs. Yellow curbs mean you cannot park there. So you would have to have assigned spaces or find open areas where you can park. It's bicycle friendly. You'll see the bicycle trail on our right hand side. Kingstowne encourages and fosters people being active within the community. Now on the edge of Kingstowne, just south of it, you actually have Hayfield High School. So when you live inside of Kingstowne, you're going to go to one of two high schools. It's either going to be Hayfield High School or Edison. And we're going to show you that briefly, show how close you are to Hayfield. And again, these are single family homes with what we like to call 0 lot lines, that you still get the advantage of being a single family home, but you do not have a lot of space that you have to maintain. And here on our right hand side, you have Hayfield High School. During COVID, it was interesting, you know, public high schools are open to the public. Part of your tax dollars go to that. And multiple days during COVID, we would meet out here with a local gym that was closed at the time. We'd work out at the facilities at the track that goes around the football field here at Hayfield High School. There you can see on the right hand side is the track and the nice football stadium. For the Hawks, go Hawks, right? Hayfield High School. And this runs us right up to Telegraph Road, which also carries you down to 495. And gosh, while we're here, we'll just go ahead and jump over to Hayfield Farm community. This is separate from Kingstowne, separate from Lansdowne and even Island Creek. We're now venturing into Hayfield Farm. We'll jump over here with traffic. Now, you might ask, why Hayfield Farm? Well, for the price of the luxury townhomes, typically you can be in Hayfield Farm for a single family home. And within Hayfield Farm, you will have a combination of all different styles. Colonial here on your right, the true brick colonial. And then we're coming up here on a split foyer. Now, the way you know that it's a split foyer is that front door basically divides halfway, and it looks like in between two of the floors. That's why it's called a split foyer. And you'll see 3-level splits as well. Even homes with carports versus garage. That is something you'll have to make a decision on. What is the premium for parking? There's a split foyer on our right. And beyond that, do you have to have a garage, or are you okay with a carport? Sometimes you just have street parking, like here on our right. A lot of it's just how they were developed at the time. You'll see a Dutch colonial here. If you haven't seen that before, it's where the roof comes down halfway and you have dormer windows. It's a different look. Not everyone likes it, but it does give you extra room within the home. You can see here the home and the community is more dated than Kingstowne. It also does not have all the amenities that Kingstowne does. The amenity that you're getting here is price and space. And you get larger yards, as you've seen, than you had in Kingstowne. And you have the ability to do a little bit more with your yard if you want. And you have the different styles. So, Hayfield Farm, for its proximity, does very well. We're within Alexandria. We're close to that Wegmans. We're close to the shopping, the dining. You could easily go into Kingstowne for a night if you want to hit the movie theaters. And again, you're still sandwiched between two of those metros, the Springfield Metro and the Van Dorn Metro. I've always liked Hayfield Farm for what you can get for the money. You do have a tot lot here within the community that they keep up with on your right-hand side, but you certainly don't have all the amenities that you'll find in Kingstowne, even Island Creek. And House of Dynasty. Now, this is a hidden gem. Most people do not know about this restaurant. It's a fantastic Chinese restaurant, the House of Dynasty, located, sandwiched in between all these communities within Alexandria. And the fun thing here, the thing I always grew up loving, is that for dessert, they give you a free sherbet as part of a cleanser after you finish the meal. But it is fantastic. Anchored within this kind of anonymous shopping center, just called a Hayfield Shopping Center, that is not truly anchored by anything big other than a Planet Fitness. But House of Dynasty has been here for years and is a big attractor. People in Alexandria know this restaurant. They come and eat lunch and dinner here. We've now reached the end of Kingstowne Village Parkway. We're on top of Beulah Road. So this stops Kingstowne. When we cross Beulah, we'll now be into Island Creek. Island Creek is a great community as well. The challenge with Island Creek is it's just not as big. It's not as vast as Kingstowne. You do have a pool and tennis courts, but you don't have multiple pools. You don't have all the fitness centers that you get in Kingstowne. Why would someone choose Island Creek over Kingstowne? Typically based on price. It is less expensive than Kingstowne. Now, it's just across the street, so it's not that much less expensive, but typically you're looking at saving anywhere from $50,000 to $75,000 for the same home, which is why there is an attraction to being there. So we're within Island Creek now, and it is a combination of row houses or townhouses with one-car garage. You'll see here the focal point of the community center that does have the tennis courts and the pool here in Island Creek, which is also a big attractor. You know, people are always asking, what am I getting for this fee? You will notice ponds as well within Island Creek and the walking trail. There are large single-family homes And sometimes they'll back to the pond. Sometimes you're backing directly up to a neighbor. The big thing we always focus on is we never want you to truly be on top of a busy road when it comes to really the quiet enjoyment of your property. These are examples of condo townhouses where they actually get garage parking, which is a big deal to have garage parking with our Four Seasons. And this is a condo development on our right. You'll see the 4 levels of the condo development. Again, back to townhouses. That's the one thing, is that you're interspersed throughout. In a larger community like Island Creek, you will have the single car garage townhouses, the 4-level condos, the single family homes, and then you'll have these open common areas. Part of your homeowners association fee goes to make sure that those stay in good and proper order. Island Creek Elementary School, it's fun that you could live in a community and actually be able to walk to the school from your home. That is also a big attraction for why people enjoy and want to be in Island Creek. This gets you closer to the Springfield Metro than Kingstowne does. It's just right off of Franconia, a couple lights away. There are Metro bus stops that can give you access to it. There's also more luxury townhomes that are the 2-car garage estate homes. And we'll tour you through here some of the single family homes. So within Island Creek, you have some of the nicer single family homes here on John Thomas. You've got the brick. You know, this is something that a lot of people don't understand, is when we say brick single family homes, they think it's going to be brick all the way around. Well, it's rare to have brick all the way around. What we're talking about is a brick elevation or a facade on the front, and then usually it's going to have vinyl siding around the side and the back. You will notice the smaller lot lines that you have with a lot of the homes within Island Creek, and you'll notice also that each home is different when it's next to it. When you're building new, the builders by design do not allow you to have the same elevation. So you'll have vinyl siding and then brick, and then typically it'll alternate. You might even have a column of brick with the coin accents and then vinyl. So most builders will build with anywhere from 4 to 5 different elevations, and that elevation just means what the front of the house looks like. And many times you'll see the builders where they build the garage and then they even have another bedroom or space above it, which really expands your upper level and is appealing to many buyers, especially with larger families or that want to create a gathering space. Ideal is to not back to other homes, but to back to common area and or ponds, and we're about to drive by one of the larger ponds here in Island Creek. It'll be here on the left or the right hand side. You have benches here where you can just really enjoy the nature and the surrounding area. So driving down Beulah Road, as we mentioned, you have Island Creek on your right, you have Kingstowne on your left, and we get closer and closer to Fort Belvoir, which is a big attractor for both of these communities. And we're going to show you another strip mall or strip area where there's shopping and dining. And one of the big anchors that came in recently is Wegmans. Of course, you've got the fitness center with LA Fitness, and I remember how big the talk was when Wegmans was coming, right? So whenever you hit it as a local community when Wegmans or Whole Foods, one of those big ones, jump in here. Of course, you've got Green Turtle as part of the late night establishments, a place where you can go and watch the games and everything else. Burton's Bar and Grill is also a famous one. I guess we're coming in the wrong way here. And you'll see the EV, the electric, they're starting to put them in everywhere. Kingstowne has them. And you'll see that set up throughout. We'll take the longer tour this time to show what's anchored here in this plaza. Now, this is outside of Kingstowne. This is also outside of Island Creek. We're now about to border Telegraph Road, which puts us right next to Fort Belvoir. So you see the big Wegmans, which also has its pharmacy. You've got the Burton's Bar and Grill, as well as the Green Turtle, even Dickey's Barbecue Pit, which is well known in this local area. And this is called the Hilltop Village Center Shopping Plaza, which has everything, right? From fine dining to the bar, restaurants, and grills, as well as Wegmans. There's even a Massage Envy. This gets a lot of people coming and going. You can tell how packed it is here on a Friday afternoon, and how many people come and go through this community and through this area. So this is Lansdowne. Lansdowne also has the issue of power lines. Power lines run throughout Lansdowne. Lansdowne does have its own community center. You'll see the single family homes here, both 2-car garage and single car garage single family homes. Different styles and designs. For the most part, people want the colonial style, which is what you're seeing, where this is a good representation right here that we drive by, the colonial style 2-car garage. And that means that all of your bedrooms are on the upper level. The main level features your living, dining, kitchen, and family room, and then you do have a basement. In Virginia, it's very important that you have a basement, big for resale. For the most part, you'll see colonials. We will see a couple ramblers as well as split foyers. There are some commercial space that backs the Lansdowne, which makes it a little less attractive. You never want to be on top of commercial because you can't control what happens down the road to that commercial space. Here's some examples of the power lines being right within it. If you as a home directly back to power lines, typically the offset is going to be anywhere from $40,000 to $60,000 as far as what it's worth as a result of that. So here's the tot lots on our right hand side and the pool area for Lansdowne. And Lansdowne has the closest proximity to the new Wegmans that went in a couple years ago. It has some the Green Turtle, some great access to restaurants, dining. Beyond shopping and dining, there's commercial plazas where people actually come here for work within Kingstowne. That's why you'll see the setup where you can eat outdoors. It's just a short distance from Kingstowne Center, and people can really enjoy the tranquility of nature. You'll see the nature bridge we're walking across, where you can walk around this entire pond, and there's ponds throughout Kingstowne, and it's fun because just a short distance and you can enjoy everything that nature has to offer.